rainbow. And we're facing a c-bet by the cutoff. And then we're in the big blind deciding whether or not to fold, call, or raise on the flop. And that's the topic of today's stream. At least the start of it. So yeah, gonna be fun. Trying to increase our check raise accuracy a bit. See what we know there. What type of combos do we choose there for value, for bluff? How light do we call? What hands do we fold versus c-bet, etc. You can see on the top here the different strength buckets I already created. So from strong to weak, from left to right basically. A lot of different strength buckets here creating today. Because often very specific combinations here go for a check raise or check call or either check fold. And therefore it's important to make a good distinction between those cards and those hands. Cubic, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining again. Hope you're doing well. Same for Saint Piss. Great to have you on board. Are you guys ready for some training? And I think we're just going to kick it off. I'm fine, but going to leave in a couple of minutes, sadly. That is sad. Well, still nice for you. Still nice that you come and say hi. Need to pick up a new battery. Need to pick up new car battery. Nice. Enjoy the stream. Well, thank you very much. Definitely gonna do that. Got some people coming in now. As you already know, we have this interactive quiz function. And you can see it in the window already by typing 1 into the chat for fold, 2 in the chat for call, and 3 in the chat for check raise. You can participate in this challenge, basically. So I would say we're gonna kick it off. For all of you in the chat, I would invite you to click 1 for fold, 2 for call, and 3 for check raise here. And by doing that, we get an idea of everyone's everyone's idea of the strategy, basically. So let me quickly get these windows right on my end. Got some check folds, some check raises here. We're also having a live stream later tonight in the mastermind. You got bananas check raising. Roro, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. Check calling. I will also participate. I'll check fold here. I'm enjoying these cozy streams. Well, thank you very much. So it's a mix, folding or check calling, as you can see here. Pretty close. We're not check raising here. I think if we check raise, we either want to have a stronger hand or we want to have better blockers. Especially blockers to the board like a queen and 8, 4, like those cards. I think will become very important here, but we're gonna figure it out. Let's move on to the next one. We have our entire range here, so no hands excluded or whatsoever. It's our big blind defending range. We check to the cutoff, and the cutoff is c-betting now. And it's up to us what we are going to do. So, very similar hand here. Check, check, 9, 8. This time we also have a pair. We got a check raise and a check fold. Pretty interesting. We don't have a backdoor flush draw. Could play a role. Fur, welcome to the live stream. I'm blind, didn't even notice a pair. Well, no worries. We Got a check raise, a check fold. Matters the flop bet size. I might call this against a half pot size bet. Yeah, we are playing against a 3/4 pot size bet, c-bet in this simulation. For all of you, just so you know. What are we doing, guys? What are we going to do? We got some check raises, some check folds. I don't know. I go for the call. Maybe check raise with a backdoor flush draw. I think the combination of the pair blocker and the straight blocker is pretty strong. I don't think we want to check fold first of all, because we have a gutter, we have a pair. It is a check call actually. Ash? Check call. Nice. Ash is in the stream. Check calling, guys. Check calling. Anything happens with suits variations? Let's take a look. Here we can see all the Jack 9-8 combinations. And we can see that they're basically all calling. So we don't really check raise this specific combo. We also have a gutter, so maybe the hand is a little bit... We don't want to check raise and then fold versus a 3-bet. Can imagine that to be the reason. But yeah, let's continue. Top set, guys. Ace, queen, queen 4. Top set. But we also block our own out with the 4. Pretty interesting. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the chat. Got a lot of calling, some raising. Good mix of calling and raising here. First check raising, Ash is check calling. Yeah, we do have the 4. We don't have backdoor flush draw. Pretty close. You can see here all the sets, by the way, on the if you look into the window here on top, you can see sets are mainly check raising here on the board, like 85% of the time. But we have some calls. I would say there are mainly, or there are quite some bottom sets in here, but could be a few top sets like this one. Yeah, it's close. I would still go for a check raise, but mainly based on the fact that we will most likely check raise most of the top sets. So if I then not exactly sure, then I would go with a high frequency play basically, which would be check raising. I think that's can be a good default. But we're gonna find out. We got mainly check raises. Well, there's also some calling, as you can see. So it's a mix 70-30. EV very similar. So this is one of those candidates that can actually go for the check call as well, which is what we sort of assumed. If you look into the buckets, so if we look in all sets here, just to get an idea right away about that. So here we have all the sets in this window, and if I select for queens, you can see that top set of queens is check raising 98% of the time, 91% of the time, sorry, and check calling 9%. So if you filter for the hands that could potentially check call, they have similar characteristics as this one. So queen, queen 8, for example, also with a pair blocker and no backdoor flush draw. King, queen, queen 4, very similar to this one. Yeah, so if we block our own out, queen, queen 8, it's much more often a call. But with a 4, it's much less likely that we should call. So pretty interesting. Let's move on, guys. We got the queen, jack 9-7 here. We got top pair. We got a gut shot, backdoor flush draw. We got a check raise by Dota. This one I like for a check raise, okay. Check call by You Got Banana. Yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, we can definitely check call, I would say, and plays good enough, but we do have a lot of good blockers, right, towards our opponent's continuing range. So I could potentially see a check raise here because we have so many blockers. Block a lot of the straight draws, we block top pair. We have 3 backdoor clubs, so that's also not that great. Going mainly for the call here. Ariana's calling as well. Yeah. What do we see here? So let's look into the bucket here, guys. So we have top pair plus straight draw. We're check raising 58% of the time. So quite often, actually. I can imagine the very best ones, obviously. So with an inside straight like Jack 10-9, for example, or 7-6-5. 2 backdoor flush draws, probably a good candidate. Shadow Maniac, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're as sharp as yesterday. With 2 clubs I call. Yeah, we're gonna find out. I go for a check raise. Can fold out aces and kings. Let's see. Well, it's a mix, guys. It's a mix again. 75-25, so mainly calling here preferred, but we could also check raise. Shadow Man. Yeah, so quite a mixed strategy here. Anything happening with different suits? Can we see anything then? So check raising here. Not too much. 3 diamonds, but quite a mix, quite a mix. Here we got Jack, 10 deuce, guys. Ariana's asking if we call, do we lead some turns, like a 5 or a 6? I can imagine some leads there, yeah. But I wouldn't know totally sure because I haven't looked into that specific turn situation, so can't tell. But it's very likely that we have some leads, yeah, on cards that will be good for our calling range. So we got some folding here. We got a check raise as well. Chops, thank you for following. Appreciate it. A lot of check folding here. Yeah, I agree on that one. I would also check fold. Ariana's check folding. Back in the lab. I'm waiting desperately for those juicy, more advanced sims for the tool. Turn river play versus aggressor. Do you have news about when we get them? Well, Infinito, we first looking into attaching all the flop sims that we have. So that is the goal at the moment. Turn river is after that something again. So that's a different step. At the moment we focus on attaching flop to the tool basically. And then at some point we will also figure out ways to add turns and rivers for certain situations or for whatever we're gonna come up with. But we're thinking about it, we're working on it. So absolutely. Shadow Maniac is calling and the rest is mainly folding here. Let's see. It is a call, guys. It is a call, very surprising. But we can also fold, as you can see, 9%, but mainly calling. Definitely surprising to me. Feels pretty weak here against a 3-quarter pot bet. I can't imagine myself calling this in-game ever. Like, we don't have a pair blocker, we have a 10-eye backdoor flush draw. Seems so weak. Like, with 2 backdoor flush draws, I can't imagine it here. Like, these hands. But with 1, I mean... Nice reverse float hand to Shadow Maniac. Yeah, well... Yeah, we're probably gonna play some turns quite aggressively then. If we turn nice blockers. Otherwise, I can't imagine it's to be profitable call. Queen 10 9 9. Top pair. Gut shot. Blockers. No backdoor flush draw. Interesting candidate here. Can lead many turns. Yeah. There's probably some leading there for sure. Check raising here. So what do we got? Check raising. A lot of check raising. Sleazy, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Check call. I would also check raise. Anyone else before we're gonna reveal the answers? Check raise it is, guys. Check raise it is. Makes sense, I would say. King 10 9 deuce. What do we have? Gutter, backdoor flush draw. That's about it. Would you mind to show your custom buckets description for me to take a screenshot? I need to add some to my list, but yeah, you can contact me on Discord for that, Infinito. Thank you very much. What do we got? A lot of folding. Yeah, seems pretty weak, right? I would also fold. And it is a fold. Ace King Queen 6. Wow. We're facing a 3/4 pot. Luke, Shadow Maniac has a personal question for you. You don't have to answer it. Well, we're gonna see. We will see if we answer it or not. But first, let's get into this question. Ace King Queen 6, guys. What is the plan? How do you feel about Austin Powers, Gold member? I never watched it, man. I never watched it. So no feelings about it. No feelings for me about Austin Powers. Folding, folding. Yeah, seems pretty weak, right? Give it a watch. Well, it seems so old now, right? I remember I was a kid when it came out. Let me quickly get this out of the way here. And Gold member wasn't as good as the prior two. Okay. Wow. Very surprising, guys. We're calling here. I mean, how can we call? How can we call? We just don't fold Ace King Queen. Look at this. It's just never a fold. Ace King Queen, always continuing versus a bet. Check raising, not really. Mainly calling. I mean, let's look at the equity of the hand. Like Ace King Queen 6. Heart, heart, heart. Also got Monker on the side, just so you know. So this hand has around 52% equity versus our opponent's betting range. Makes sense, we block aces and kings. But we have poor playability, it's surprising to me even, yeah. Me too. What would happen if we had like ace, queen, jack six? Heart, heart, heart. Like, it's probably that the ace king combo is quite important. For example, a hand like ace king queen six, same hand, is a fold. It's more a fold. So yeah. Jack 10 7 7 guys. Gut shot, pair of sevens, no pair blocker to the board. Backdoor flush draw. Yeah, what do we see here? So we got straight draw. You can see it here, I think. Straight draw far away on the right. Mainly check folding. We got some calls. That's about it. Everyone folding, right? Everyone's folding. We did call like Jack 10, right? Jack 10 deuce or Jack 10 deuce, which was a surprise. So maybe we could also call this, or is this too weak then? It's a fold. Yep. Guys, we're on top here. Pretty good. Well, same hand here. Let's take this one. 10 9 4. We got a pair blocker with the 4. Mainly calls, eh? Mainly calls. Yeah, I would say call or raise, but probably too weak to check raise. Let me know what you think. It is a call. It is a call. Queen 10 9 deuce, top pair, gut shot. I agree, our main check raising block top pair. Yeah. We haven't seen too many check raises, right? Some, but that's a cool thing about this tool, right? You can just get thrown off at you all these hands that you also have in real time. Which makes it a lot of fun, of course. Check raise, check call. Check raise by fur. Quite a mix here. Some calling, some raising. Sleazy's also calling. Spider Vot calling as well. Nice. With 2 back to flushers, I would check raise. Let's find out. It's a mix already, like one of the merge check raise with top pair. Trying to fold out some aces or kings. And we fold against the shove, of course. So I'm interested to see more about this category, like top pair with straight draws, because these hands, I can imagine, will show up quite a bit in our check raising range. Hands that we are most often just calling. But we have so many blockers, in a sense. Top pair, straight draw blockers. We can fold out better made hands. Yeah, so with 2 backdoor flush draws, you can see it here, for example. It's a check raise as well. Here. It's very mixed, but Queen of Diamond, 100% check raise. Yeah. Ace King Queen Jack. No backdoor flush draw. Everyone calling, huh? Everyone is calling. Only calls. Nice. Let's go for it. It is a call, guys. It is a call. Nice job. Do we check raise any of these, or is no? All calls. All calls. Well, we've seen this hand, right? Ace King Queen 3 now. Does it make a difference that we now have a 3 instead of a 6 previously? I don't think so, right? Probably still a call. Well, it's a mix. Calling or raising. Let's move on to the next one because don't want to see the same hands too often. Sorry about that, guys. Gonna move to the next one. Ace 8 6 5. What are we doing here? Middle pair, gut shot, no backdoor flush draw. Calling. Nice. Chelsea Dota is check raising. Interesting. Interesting. Feels a little bit too weak to me to check raise. Anyone else? 8 calls, 1 check raise. Before we're gonna reveal the answer, guys. It's a call. So let's look into this category. So what do we have? Middle pair plus straight draw. So where do we see that? Middle pair plus straight draw is here. So here you can see all middle pairs and straight draws. Let's look into what combinations we are check raising. And like Jack 10 8 6, for example. More blockers. Also a little bit more equity. Jack 10 8 7. Jack 9 9 8. That's probably one of the best candidates. Jack 10 9 8, like a very strong hand, of course, with the inside straight draw there. 10 9 8 5. Yeah, the hands that we check raise have more blockers around like the top part of the straight draws, like Jack 10, Jack 9, 10 9. 8 7 6 5. Interesting. Okay. Let's move on. We're live now for 35 minutes, guys. And the next hand, Jack 10 9 9. Yeah, we got some calls. Calling, okay. Why is the quiz not working? Sorry for that. Nothing is showing up. That is pretty weird. Okay, so it does work now. Apparently it didn't work, but it's a check call. We all had it right. Okay, so ace 974, bottom pair, backdoor nut flush draw. Where's the Luke vote? Yeah, I can also vote, no problem. I was more focused on getting your votes in, but I will also participate. Probably more fun, I agree. Let me join the action then. A lot of folding, a lot of folding. It is a fold. It is a fold. Ten, 10, 6, 5, gut shot, future blockers. Straight draw here, you can see it, 64% folding, 33% calling. I'd go for the fold here. Come on, guys. A call by Shadow Maniac. If you're interested in doing this more often, if you want to know when I am live, make sure to follow me on Twitch so you don't miss out on future training sessions or even streams playing cash game. Let's float this. Well, let's see. Wow, look at this. Very surprising. Very surprising here. Chelsea Doda, thank you for following. Appreciate it. We are actually calling here, even some check raises. I mean, not sure what happens here, but like it's... I can't see how that's possible, to be honest. Like here we can see the straight draws, basically. The bucket that this one belongs in. Like basically bare straight draws, sort of. You can see Jack, Jack, 10, 3. Call, we saw a hand like that. Jack, Jack, 9, 3, similar. Jack, Jack, 7, 5. So what happens if we have jacks? So you can see if we have a bare straight draw with 2 jacks, we're calling 70% of the time. If we have a bare straight draw with 10s, we're calling 60% of the time. So apparently these 10-10 and Jack-Jack combinations are still fairly strong. Which is somewhat of a surprise. Like 10-10-7-5, for example. It's a call. No backdoor flush draw folding. Yeah, so these future blockers are very important there. Keep that in mind. Definitely interesting takeaway on my end here. Didn't expect that. Absolutely. And that's cool, right? Those are the things we wanna learn about. So even out of position, we are calling fairly wide with those type of hands. King, Queen, 10, 9. How about this one? No backdoor flush draw. Gut shot, top pair. So top pair and a straight draw, you can see it here. 58% time check raising, 42% check calling. Ariana's check raising. Okay. Shadow Maniac check calling. Got a good mix here of check raising and check calling. Please let me know in the chat what you guys think. Check fold for number 1. Number 2, check call. Number 3, check raise. The more people participate, the more fun it is. So don't feel any regrets or don't feel bad if you make a mistake. It's all good. It's all good. We are now 18 questions in. I'd also check call. Could see it as a... I I think check calling. Well, it's a pure check call. It's a pure check call. Top pair straight draw. Have you looked into that bucket yet? This is important, guys. Making sure that we check out these categories to understand the overall principles better. One hand doesn't tell us that much, but we want to look at like bigger combos, more hands. Looking into what hand we're calling. Queen Jack 10. Ace Queen Jack 9. King Queen Jack 9. Like these hands aren't that interested in check raising. Ace Queen 7 6. So what hands are we then check raising? Similar hands like this, but with 3 backdoor flush draw blockers. King Queen Jack 10. I mean, King Queen Jack 10, for example, is like 87% check raise. Didn't see that one coming. Ace Queen Jack 10, very similar. So what do we do then versus shove? Ace Queen Jack 10. Okay, we're mainly either calling or getting it in. Cool. Cool stuff. King Jack 10 10. How about this one? Worry about that. What do we got here? Like 2 calls, guys. What are we doing? Please let me know what you guys think. King Jack 10 10. Aiko, welcome to the stream. Please let me know what you think here. I would also call. It is a call. It is a call. Jack 9 8 7 here. Middle pair. Good shot. Calling. A lot of calling here, huh? A lot of calling. Got some check raises here by Buchos. Nice. Hunmati, thank you for following. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Please let yourself know in the chat and participate by answering if you are interested in doing that. A lot of fun. I would also call here. Okay. Middle set, guys. Middle set. 2 backdoor flush draws. A 7. Pretty strong card. Is this a check raise or do we want to check call? A lot of check raising here. We don't block the queen. We can get value from a lot of hands. True. It is a check raise. Does anything change without a backdoor flush draw? So you can see here if we don't have a backdoor flush draw, or if we have a low backdoor flush draw only, like an 8 high flush draw, we're mainly check calling. I think that makes a lot of sense. Because we don't have any additional equity for the rest, like we don't have a straight draw, we don't block top set, so we definitely need some backup, which are the 2 backdoor flush draws. How about this one? Middle set, no backdoor flush draw this time. I mean, we do have a jack and a 6, so we do block some straight draw combinations. We're check raising 85% of the sets that we have. Is this one of the ones that we're calling, or are we still check raising? We got some check calls, we got some check raises here. Shadow Maniac is doing both, check calling and check raising. I'd go for the call. It's a mix. It's a mix, guys. 80-40. Or 60-40, sorry. Like with a backdoor flush draw, it's a check raise. With 2 backdoor flush draws as well. And then without a backdoor flush draw, it's somewhat mixed. So you can see some check raising here, but also some calling. So I'd probably simplify something like this, that we check call without the backdoor flush draw and check raise with. Just to make sure my calling range has some sets in there like this, and then my check raising range has more of them, so makes it easy to implement in a way. Chelsea says call has a little higher EV than raising. Okay. 0.1 big blind here. Not too much, but it is something, of course. Like we gotta fold the call. Like we've seen similar hands like this with jacks and 10s that we are calling. Call by Shadow Maniac. Elite. Unmatty. Welcome. Leading, yeah. This board has some leading range, I know. It was like 12, almost 13%. So we definitely have a leading range here as well. But at the moment, we're looking into the check and decide category. You know it, reverse float, yeah. But the 9s are definitely somewhat weaker maybe than the jacks and the 10s. But it's very likely to be a call again. We've seen similar hands, so I would go on the call based on what we've seen before, but I don't feel great about it. You can see it, it's a fold, guys. It's a fold. Yeah. It's too weak. It's too weak. Two backdoor flush draws we can call. The rest it's a fold. Unfortunately. Bottom set, two backdoor flush draws. Pretty cool. What are we doing here? Like bottom set often needs additional backup. So for example, top pair blocker is almost always a check raise then, straight draw almost always a check raise. But two backdoor flush draws without a straight draw or a top pair blocker, interesting. We see a lot of check raising. I would also go for check raise based on two backdoor flush draws. Sleazy is calling. Nice. A good, mainly check raising here, most people, but it's a check raise. It's a check raise, guys. Top pair, backdoor nut flush draw. A lot of calling, a lot of calling. I agree. Pogi Boots, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. How did your stream end yesterday? Hope you had a good session. You're welcome. Happy you enjoyed it and hope it helped. I would also call here. There's even some raising here. Pretty interesting. Like like top pair. Like let's look into top pair without any backup. You can see 22% raising. So we do check raise some top pair without backup. Queen Jack 6-3. And Queen Jack 2s. Seems that we're looking for low cards like bad playability if we call. But here we also have like King Queen Jack 7 now suddenly. King Queen Jack seems to be like 32%. King Queen Jack deuce. King Queen Jack 5. King Queen Jack 7. Like an additional blocker to some of the straight draws, like this 5 to 6 to 7. And then like 3 backdoor club blockers. But yeah, pretty hard to figure out exactly, of course. But we are check raising some top pair without much backup, so 9976, guys. Gutter, future blockers. Backdoor flush draw. Is this one of those hands again that we're calling, or are we folding here? Maybe even raising? I don't know. What do you guys do? With 2 back to 1, 1, 1. Fold, fold, fold. I would call based on some of the previous hands that we've seen, based on what we've learned, but maybe this one is too light. It feels very light, that's for sure. I'd end my career if there's more than 20% calling. Yeah, sometimes it's tough. Welcome to the stream. I Splash Rolls. Thank you for following. Appreciate it. Anyone else? It's not working. Hold on. There is nothing happening here. It does work now. Sorry about that. Yeah. It is a call, guys. It is a call. Chelsea, was nice meeting you. Have a nice career. Hope you're doing well. GG. All the best. Yeah, it's definitely surprising, but based on what we've seen previously, it makes sense, right? Like we've seen similar sort of hands calling as well. But I can understand it's definitely a fold without a backdoor flush draw, of course. Like with a hearts here, you can see it's a fold. Yeah, most of the hands are not in my pre-flop defending range. Yeah, that's another issue. Rake too high. Let's go on, guys. Next question. Queen Jack Jack 5. Top pair. Some blockers, no backdoor flush draw. We're live, guys, for 1 hour. Not going to stream too long today. We also have a live stream later tonight in a mastermind, so... Gonna be a short one. But we'll do a few more questions. I think also like 1 hour is a good time to do some study work like this. Like we also don't want to do it too long. We can do sometimes, but like on average, like maybe an hour, 1.5 hours could be a good time frame to do these kind of sessions. Keep it fun for everyone. And that is also not too long of a grind. So we got a good mix here, like some calling, some check raising. I would go for the check raise here. Seems like one of those perfect candidates. Wow, it's a fold. It's a fold, guys. No backdoor flush draw. Is that the thing? Is that the thing? Probably, right? No backdoor flush draw is killing me here. So hearts, we're folding, yeah. No backdoor flush draw, it's a fold. Check raise if we do have a backdoor flush draw. So with the spades, the clubs, the diamonds. Okay, so that's a good takeaway as well. Like, don't overvalue your blockers if you don't have the backdoor flush draw here. If you have very little equity, the backdoor flush draw is very important. Cool. I think we've seen some cool takeaways today, for sure. We might have to start writing them down in a way and make sort of a summary at the end of the session. Ace Jack 10 deuce. No, what is it? Ace 10 9 deuce, sorry. 2 backdoor flush draws, gut shot. What are you guys doing? Pokey Boots asking firing up some tables later. Yeah, maybe. I might play some, but not sure. After this, I'm gonna get some food And then at 9 o'clock, we have the live stream in the mastermind. So maybe before that. But not sure. We'll see. Check raising here. Okay. I would check call. Sleazy check calling. Pogi check calling. Roro and Saints are check raising. Cool. Wait. Sorry. I'm not 100% sharp today, guys. Sorry. The quiz wasn't active yet. So you can do it again if you want. I will do it again. Makes it more fun. Foam Quince is asking, are these simulations for heads up PLO? No, they are from a 6 max preflop ranges. So this is big blind versus cutoff. Keels, thank you for following. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good time. Please get into the chat here and reveal yourself with your answers. It's a lot of fun if we all do that. Flare Ace, thank you for joining today again. Are these low stake sims? B Pats is asking. No, this is based on PLO 500 rake structures post flop. All the sims post flop we have are for mid stakes. We don't have post flop sims based on different rake levels. We do have them for pre flop, but not for post flop. It's a mix calling and folding. How about King Jack 10-4? What would you guys do? What would you guys do? Gut shot pair. Would also call. Zadik, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well. Fidero, thank you for joining. All calling, guys. All calling. Anyone else? Please let me know. 7 calls now. B-Pots, welcome to the stream. Yeah, you can see it here. It's big blind versus cutoff. You can see it on top here. Big blind versus cutoff, 1 on big blind single raise pot. We are in the big blind and we're facing a flop c-bet by the cutoff. It's a call. Obiltas, welcome. Top set here, guys. Are we check raising, check calling? We've seen some top sets before, so we maybe already have some ideas here about what kind of hands we check raise and check call. You can see here on the top, like, sets are check raising 85% of the time, calling only 15%. Oh, the c-bet, if the c-bet is pot, the c-bet sizing is 75%, Zadik. So 3/4 pot. I would also check raise here. It is a check raise. Jack 8-5. Middle pair, some future blockers. Is this one strong enough? Maybe check raise bluff, or do we call, fold? Sadik is check raising. Eiko is folding. Pogi is also check raising. Fold. Check raise by Sleazy. Saint is check folding. Yeah, based on what we've just seen, we just saw like Queen Jack Jack, very similar like this. Queen Jack Jack without a backdoor flush draw was a check fold, and with a backdoor flush draw it was a check raise. So I cannot imagine that this one then suddenly is a check raise. Very similar, but even weaker. Yeah, no backdoor flush draw again. I agree with Chelsea there. It is a check fold. Like you can now see the difference also between Queen Jack Jack and 8 Jack Jack. Like here, even with a backdoor flush draw, it's a fold. Like the hand is just too weak. Top pair blocker is more valuable than middle pair blocker. So if we have middle pair blocker, we need more additional equity or blockers. So it's even a fold with a backdoor flush draw. Yeah, it's a fold, Chelsea. It's a fold. Bottom set here with the 8 blocker. I think it's very close. Could be mixed between calling and raising. I would very often call here in game. It's a raise. It's a raise, guys. We gotta raise it. We gotta raise it up. Let's look into bottom set here for a second. So fours. 71% raising. So 4 for 8. Probably the 8 that plays a big role here. Not even that great. 70%. Queen 4-4, 100%. Okay. Yeah, I mean, apparently it's good enough. It is good enough. Yeah, I would say the 8 blocker plays a good role there. Ace Queen 10 deuce here. Check call, check call, check call. Yeah, seems like a call to me as well. It's a call. How about King 8-4? Overpair. What do we see here? Like overpair, we can see it here. Overpair plus top pair of straight draw. Overpair is like pair overpair is folding 41% and calling 60. I would say this one is a call. A lot of calling, a lot of calling. Yeah, I agree. It is a call. How about ace 10, 6-5? We got a gut shot, backdoor, not flush draw. But yeah, that's about it. That's about it. I would fold. Just to kick things off here. Check folding right away. Let me know in the chat, guys. What are you guys thinking before we're gonna reveal it? Can we call that hand with 2 backdoor flush draws? Yeah, probably. Oh, sorry, I clicked call. I wanted to fold. Not sure why I clicked call, but I did answer fold. Let's see. Yeah, with 2 backdoor flush draws, you can see it here. There are some calls, yeah, for sure. You can see them here, and the rest it's a fold. Ace queen 8-6. What would you guys do here? We got top pair, top 2 pair actually. 3 clubs, but also check raise. It's not great that we have 3 clubs though. We don't, yeah. I mean, there aren't that many turns we're happy to continue on, right? If we check raise, get called. I can't even imagine it's to be check call. Could be a mix, yeah. I agree. Would you have the ace? I wonder what the ace, how the ace plays a role. Yeah, it's a mix here, you can see it. Very much a mix. And then with only 2, so let's say ace is club club without club club club. Yeah, with only 2 backdoor flush draw cards, we are a little bit more often check raising. Ace club 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 club. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Give me a second. Yeah. King, queen, jack, jack here. This is very interesting also. A lot of blockers. A lot of blockers. We got top pair. Top pair plus straight draw blockers. You can see it here, right? Like top pair plus straight draw blockers, like for example, jacks are 56% of the time check raising and only 9% calling. Yeah, probably check raise, right? It does suck though if we get 3-bet shoved on. And we can't check call this hand. Yeah, makes sense in a way. Makes sense. But we were somewhat right there. Well done. Ace king 9-8. What do you guys think here? Ace, king, 9-8. Ace, king, 9-8. I would go for the call. To kick it off here. Everyone calling, everyone calling. Nice. Check raise by Obiltes. Cool. Pogies check calling. What? Okay, guys. We're folding. We are folding. Look at this. Just a fold. middle pair. I mean, we should have known this one. Look at this. Look at this enormous bar here. Bear middle pair. It's 94% fold, like. By the way, also middle pair plus straight draw blockers. Is that correct? Like 8, 7, 7. Without 6, without 5. Wow. Middle pair is actually folding much more often than I thought here. Look at these bars. I didn't even check them. Yep. Ace, queen, 8, 4. Top 2, 3 pair actually. 3 pair. Let's rip it. Check raising, huh? Everyone check raising. It is a check raise. Nice. Queen 10, 9, 6. Top pair, gut shot. No backdoor flush draw. I would also call. Mainly calls here, some check raises. Let's see. It's a mix. It is a mixed strategy. Yeah, the hand doesn't play that great, obviously, as a check call. It's actually quite often a check raise here. Yeah, more often a check raise than I thought. King, king, 10, 4. Over pair with a pair blocker. What do you guys do? What are you guys doing? Check raise. Nice. This is close. I don't like check calling too much, but like what do we have here? Over pair with top pair, over pair plus straight draw. So we don't have top pair or straight draw anymore. So it leaves us with like a lot of pair over pairs, like with backdoor flush draws we're probably calling. With the 8 we're probably calling, with a 4. Yeah, maybe also. I mean, I wouldn't mind folding this hand in reality. Yeah. I mean... King, king, 10, 4. Well, if you look at hearts, we can see that we're mainly folding. Actually, this one maybe it's a call, but if you look at this, sometimes one hand doesn't mean too much. But if you filter for king, king, 10, 4 with hearts, you can see We're folding 60% of the time. We're calling some, but I mean, the EV is also... Let's look at the EV. Yeah. I would expect, to be honest, if we would have run this specific sim a little bit longer, it would converge to a fold, because you can see King 10 for more hands are leaning towards folding, and the hands that are calling are basically already sort of minus EV, like, or very close to zero. So I would expect it to be a fold if the sim would have run longer. Thank you very much, Pogi. Happy to see you in here, and catch up later. Thanks for joining. Have a good lunch. C-bet frequency is around 50%. Around 50% C-betting. The cutoff for 75% side. Ace 10 6-6 here. If you're interested in more of these streams in the future, make sure to follow the channel so you stay up to date on when I'm live and you don't miss out on it. Obviously, we're gonna do this more, the same as cash game streaming, hanging out together here, talking some PLO and also some other stuff. But also fold. Next question, Ace King Queen 7. What are you guys doing here? Yep, calling. Next one. King Queen 8-6, top 2 pair. Not much backup though. B-Pats, thank you for following. Appreciate it. Great to see you. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Got some check raising, some check calling. I would check call. Do you have any emotes on the way? Yeah, Sleazy, I gotta look into that. Absolutely. I haven't done that yet. Sorry. But I've seen it with some other people, yeah. So I will check it out. See what is possible. Probably something. But I will look into it for sure. I will check call. Wow, it's a check raise. It's a check raise. That is very surprising. Sometimes these... I mean, look at this. It's just always a check raise. Yeah, what can we do here? What is this? So let's look into the bucket of hands. So this is top 2. And you can see that top 2 pair is check raising 73% of the time. The ones that we're calling, they have hearts, first of all. So if we don't have hearts, so if we have at least one backdoor flush, then we got some rainbow hands here as well. What about Ace King Queen? Ace King Queen is apparently a high frequency check call. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to think of that, to be honest. Ace 10 10 4. Bottom pair. Check folding here. Check call by Chelsea. It is a fold. As we can see here, guys, like bottom pair plus straight draw blockers. In other words, a 4 with like jacks or 10s or 9s or 7s or 6s or 5s are always check folding. Same as middle pair, by the way, if we don't have anything else. So you can somewhat cheat a little bit there, or you can get some information. King, king, 9, 4. Bottom pair, over pair as well, backdoor flush draw. Seems like a call to me. 4 more questions before we're gonna wrap it up. We're almost live, 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's a good length. A lot of calling here, and I would agree. Moving into 9876 here. Middle pair, gut shot. Backdoor flush draw. We haven't seen too many of these combinations, right? Like, so let's look into here. So middle pair plus straight draw. We're never check folding, first of all. We're check calling 65, we're check raising 35. I would say it's a call. We can also raise. Ace king queen 9, top pair. I would also call. Ace king queen often calling, yeah, that is true. We did saw that. And again, it's a call. Last one. King king 9 3. I'd fold this one. Sleazy's calling. It's a good mix, call and fold. We got one check raise also. It's a mix, like a little bit more folding than calling, but both seems to be pretty good. And that wraps up the quiz. 50 questions. Well done, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I think we saw some interesting takeaways, especially these future straight blockers like Jack, Jack, 10, 10 with a gutter, with a pair. Like those hands were often a calls. For example, Jack, Jack, 10x, Jack, 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 10, 10 deuce, 10, 10, 9, 5. Those type of hands are mainly check calling. We saw a lot of check calling with ace, king, queen type of hands. We saw surprisingly a lot of check folds with like middle pair and bottom pair with like straight draw blockers. You can see them here, the blue bars and the blue bars here, like they are always check folding, so they are not strong enough to turn into a bluff. Focus on the top pair blocker mainly. Eco is asking, will you do this regularly and when? Around this time? Very likely around this time, yeah. Regularly probably as well, but there's no schedule yet or anything. Want to keep it a little bit more open at the moment. But this was the 7th day in a row, so there's definitely some schedule at the moment at least. But we'll see. For those of you who are in the mastermind, check out the nice live stream. Myself and Suapex are answering your guys' questions. If you have any, please let us know. If you're not in the mastermind, I wish you all the best. Take care. And I'll see you all in the next stream. Bye.